terrific show. This is Becoming an Artist Live. It's a travel and photography show. Every episode we're in a different location somewhere around the world. If that sounds cool to you, click subscribe and join the party. Today I'm with my friend Photoserge. How are you?
I'm great, Trey. Thanks for having me.
You bet. This is the great Serge Ramelli. He's a wonderful photographer. We're going to be talking HDR today, taking your questions, so send those on in. And if you like, photography and all this kind of stuff, be sure to share this with your friends right now on Facebook Live, and they can join you. We see your questions live when they come up. It's going to be amazing. Before we get started, let me set the scene. What's going on here? We are here in Queenstown. Whoa! I almost knocked over our rig here. Okay, we're gonna go outside. We're here at the Rees Hotel. We actually have a photo workshop going on this week. This is Lake Wakatupu. I always say it wrong. I always say these Maori words quite wrong. Over there is Kelvin Heights. Our friend Deanie Johnstone is probably watching live from her home over there. The name of that little green mountain there is called Deer Park Heights, and behind it are the Remarkables. Really beautiful. Actually, there's a Korean prison, secret Korean prison up there that they used for a Disney movie. Yeah, where are you guys watching from? Hello from Rochester, Minnesota. Hello, Javier Medina. How are you doing? Good to hear from you. Yeah, so we have the whole crew here at the Rees Hotel, and we're doing the workshop from here. We do these photo adventures a couple times a year, and Photoserge, Serge Ramelli, has come in from France and LA to help me do this workshop, so we're having a great time. Fantastic. Hello, Lakeisha. Let me know where you guys are watching from and what the weather is like here. It's a bit cool here. It's about 65 degrees. It's in the fall. All the colors starting to change. Yeah, awesome. All right, if you're just tuning in, be sure to share it with your friends on Facebook so all of them can join us too. I'm gonna go sit there. Here's Ollie Dale. How are you, Ollie?
Hello, pirates. Arr.
What is your website, Ollie?
Just go to olliedale.com.
I thought it was virtuallyfamous.com.
There's that too.
Okay, you've got one man, two websites. Okay, here we go, courtesy.
All right.
Your wife enjoying
This whole 2 years round trip.
Oh,
we're back live.
Okay, and we're back. The great Serge Ramelli, who's also really into HDR, probably just as much as I am.
Thanks to you.
Well, you're really passionate about it. Like, what got you into it?
Honestly, really you. Exactly 10 years ago, there was a newspaper, and I saw an article on HDR. It was a photo of Paris, which you can take with some Danish guy, which I forgot the name. And I just love that illustrative look that it had. I mean, at the time, we were talking back in 2005-06. So, and Photomagic was maybe 1 year old or something.
Right.
I forgot the exact dates, but it's something around that. And so I went on Google and I typed HDR, and Stuck in Custom was the first website. And so you had this, at the time, I think you're still doing it, 1 photo a day HDR thing.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
And so, it was the first time that I felt photography was portraying the world as it is really. I always thought that photography is, you're like seeing an amazing sunset, you take a photo and you're like, that's right. Not my sunset. It's the first time I felt an emotion that was close to what it really is.
Yeah, you're the same way as me. And I don't think everyone sees the world like us, but I know for a fact a lot of people do. They see it in a very rich, cinematic way. And to me, it's just like the funnest way to make photos, and I can't get enough of it. And then you and I met, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago the first time in Paris. When you used to live in Paris.
Yes.
That was great.
Yeah.
But you're not in Paris anymore, are you?
No, I've moved to LA for movie reasons 18 months ago.
All right.
I've this whole dream of being an actor, and I totally given up on, and then my YouTube channel growing. Some guys from Hollywood contacted me and wanted me to play in a movie, which we just finished. So
right on. Well, I can't wait to see it. I understand I can see it in maybe 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
Get a sneak preview. So for those of you that don't follow Photoserge on YouTube, he has a huge following. Join him. Just go to YouTube and search for Photoserge.
That's right.
If you want to find him on Facebook, facebook.com/Photoserge. SERGE.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, I have a question. You ready for a question?
Live question.
They're coming in. We've already had like 100 comments already. This one was, when you choose when and where to shoot, how much of that choice stems from your desires and passions versus what your audience or clients want?
Aha. You go first, being the special guest.
Well, for me, it's always, especially HDR, it's always been about passion, because The only time where I'm now making money with my photography in galleries and books, but before that, I was doing interior design shots, and they were not HDR most of the time. It's during the evenings for sunset after work that I would go for the HDR. So HDR has always been like, and I was living in Paris, so one of the best cities in the world for photography, and so it's always been, passion and what I want to shoot.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The audience always confuses me, although I know you and I share the exact same thought, which is a minority thought among photographers. And I think photographers spend way too much time worrying about what other photographers think about them.
Right.
Right? Trying to impress other photographers. And it's really hard to impress other photographers with HDR, but you and I gave that up or never cared from the beginning, perhaps.
Exactly.
Because we know, like, the general public, the general audience, who understand beauty and truth and see beautiful things, they tend to love HDR.
Absolutely.
So I don't necessarily shoot for them versus professional photographers. Like you, I just shoot for myself. If I think it's beautiful, if I think there's meaning there. Now I always do look at the audience reaction. I don't really, it doesn't push me one way or the other, but I kind of notice the audience reaction like, flowers notice the rain. They just notice it. They just keep on growing, but they just kind of notice it doesn't really bother them too much. And that's how I feel. And sometimes I take a photo that I think is incredible and I process the heck out of it. I think it looks great. And I put it up and it just like falls flat. So I think, what's going on here? Sometimes I like to think, well, maybe I'm just way ahead of the curve. And they don't get it yet, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. A little funny story on that. When so I started by doing a lot of photos in Paris, mostly HDR, not all of them, but a lot of HDR back at the time. And I was trying to figure out a way to make money with photography. That's like 2008. And I was a salesman selling websites for hotels. And one guy, Philippe Vos, hello Philippe, I don't know if you're watching me, he's a very famous hotel, he owns like 5-6 hotels in Paris.
Bonjour, Philippe.
An amazing man. He was opening up a new hotel in Paris it was like an organic type of hotel. So everything was like raw wood. It was a 4-star hotel on the Champs-Élysées. And he said, listen, I love your stuff you're doing about Paris. I know you've never shot interior design, but I have a budget of about 5,000 euros for doing all the photos of the hotel. And would you be okay to shoot one room? I'm going to get 4 other photographers, which were all like super professional, working on films in 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have 4 people deciding, which photo is going to be the best. He gets the deal, the 5,000 euros to shoot the entire hotel. So I went in there and I took an HDR shot. They all went on film, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I like really easily, everybody was, because for me, the HDR was like going from black and white TV to color TV. That's really how, I remember in 78 when I got my first color TV, I was like, it just was a whole new world from black and white. So, and they just went crazy on the HDR. And that's what I was saying this morning. When you show HDR work to non-photographers, they go crazy for it.
Yeah.
Professional photos don't, maybe, I don't know why, I don't want to get into that, but anyway, so it brought me a lot.
I'm happy to get into it, but maybe we'll save that for later. I agree. When, especially people that are in that, the other markets, when they see these photos, they're so different than the professional photos they're used to seeing. Because it really does show a very rich texture, very cinematic, because a lot of these business owners, like your friend Philippe, the hotelier, he loves his property, he feels very passionate. He sees all the textures. He's very romantic about it. And this brings it out. Other photos can sometimes fall flat.
Yeah, there was a lot of wood, and all of a sudden the wood was like the wood was glowing, was amazing. Right. And so that really is my hotel, and that's so. And then just for a little story. So I got that deal, but because he was famous, I got to shot 200 other hotels, and I did not make one phone call at the time. Right. People just kept calling me. We heard you did that hotel, and we want you to do this hotel, and it just was one HDR shot. Awesome. One HDR shot. It's a true story. Yeah. I actually literally built a business on one photo.
So I got another question.
Yeah.
Well, I have one comment. Rick Taylor says the dynamic duo of HDR. So,
right. It's like we're superheroes.
A lot of people say
we need to go fight black and white people. Notice I said black and white. Black and white photography people.
That's a gray area.
Right.
Edward says, all I learned about HDR I got from you two. All my friends think I should start selling my images, but to me, I feel like it might ruin my hobby. Am I correct?
Aha. Well, it depends. I think as long as you are taking the photos that you love and not trying to take a photo of something someone will buy, then you'll be okay. I know a lot of professional photographers that when they go out with a camera, they're always thinking about who can they sell this to, right? I have a friend who like takes wildlife photos, and like he goes and takes pictures of like a bear, right? And then then he gets on and he cold calls all these places, like in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, or wherever Sheboygan is. There's a place called like Black Bear Auto Repair, and he calls them up and says, "I got the most amazing photo of a bear. You got to buy this thing." So that's not how I approach things, and I think that's sort of a weird way to approach things. I think if you just start with the pure art, like you did, like you didn't know you'd get all these other contacts, and then one photo, you love the photo, and it just works out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm my first audience. Like, do I like it, or if I don't like it, and you, of course, when you get bigger and bigger as a photographer, you never know what a photo, where it might end up. Like I sold a photo to Nike. I was telling that story, which is I was driving up to see a friend in the observatory in LA. We have this amazing view of LA, and I stopped the car. Everybody was going, and I just went out, exposed for the highlights, took one shot. And Nike bought it for the Fuel Summer blah blah blah. Gave me $2,500 for small JPEG, and then I became a Nike official shooter at that time. I had no idea this was going to happen. I just did it because it was nice.
Right.
And when you do things for the right reason, which is to please other people, to please yourself, usually you'll be surprised.
It's true. It's a bigger concept, but if you just kind of open your heart and you are kind of vulnerable and you let yourself go to the universe and kind of flow with the universe and not fight it, occasionally, you can channel something that's beautiful. Today we were out on a little photo walk with our group. And I always say these things in front of we had a group of 20 people out with us this week, a little photo adventure. I never know if it really resonates with people, but then afterwards they come up to me and said, "Hey, that thing you said makes a lot of sense." And it was this idea that I actually spend most of the day confused. Like, even when I'm taking photos, I'm always confused. I never know what's going on. Then occasionally I look out and I see something, I have my camera and I see something that makes sense. And I'm so excited that something actually makes sense during the day. I'm like, I got to take a photo of this thing. So you just know that. So I think it's okay to be confused all the time. I think even professionals get confused all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you said something which I find is very true about opening your heart. When I was a salesman, I was trying to make money for my family. I had 4 kids, a big house, 2 cars, 2 motorcycles, a lot of mortgage. And it was rough because I was really trying to make a living. I was really working hard on making money. And then it's funny because today I got some great deals on photography with galleries and books and other things going on, which I did nothing for. Like the energy I've put in trying to sell websites back in the old days compared to, and all I did was I just worked for my passion, and I kind of let it go. So I stopped like focusing on I need to make money, or I need to work as an artist, or I need to do this, putting a lot of force. I just went on, did what I liked, and it literally, they contacted me and signed the deal. And the biggest deal I've had since I was born has been deals. People contacted me on photos which I took just for my own pleasure.
Right.
Yellow Corner, my work is in over 85 galleries around the world. It's at 12 in Paris. They contacted me and because they really like what I did. 10 House, which is a German publisher, which I did both in Paris and New York, and I just completed Venice when I was with you in Venice. And it's only when I let it go and I really worked with my heart that it happened. It was kind of weird.
Counterintuitive.
And I'm 46 years old, and up to the age of 40, I always had this idea that effort and hard work is going to get you your living. And then I started doing this thing called photography, and for the pleasure, and let it go. And I'm making more money now than I was as a salesman by just following my heart. I mean, it's crazy to say that, but it's the truth.
It's great. Yeah, I'll make a recommendation for people that are more interested in this subject. A book recommendation is called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lot of these concepts that we're talking about and
Kelly
puts them
Burke
into
told me
nice.
that one.
Yeah, it's a fantastic one. So let's switch gears real fast here. I know you have recently switched HDR tools. What are you using now?
I'm using Aurora HDR.
That is a great program, sir.
I know. I have no idea who was involved in this, but it's amazing.
So the reason we bring this up is because for the past year, I've kind of built my own HDR software along with MacFun. because Photomatix was okay, but it still frustrated me. I wanted it to make like the ultimate HDR software, and then like I didn't really communicate with you because we're such good friends, and because I know like if I email you and say, hey, will you please look at this, that kind of puts a false pressure on you to give me good. So I just sat back and waited, and you almost immediately you posted the most amazing YouTube review of it on your site. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, because I've been using Photomatix not as long as you, but since many years. And I just fell in love with it. The idea of doing layers, so being able to tone map different parts of the photo is just great. You could do it with the U points with HDRFX Pro, but I found that layers and brush is more organic than U point technology, which is fine, but I think brushes is... And it is the best HDR software out there. There's no question. I even use it just for a little, finishing touch. And you really did great on that. And I'm not saying that because I'm with you. I really think, it is a case. I love Maxon products in general. I use Sony Pro for my black and white because I do some black and whites too, but because the editor only wanted black and white. But it's a great product. A lot of people want to have it on Windows. Hope it's going to come out one day.
We're working
what
on
are
it.
we doing there?
Was that a question from the audience?
Yes.
Yes, that's a constant question. When does it come out for Windows? As soon as we can. Mac Fun's working really hard on it. It's going to be identical product to the Mac product. And as you know, we keep making updates to the Mac product, which kind of unfortunately slows down the Windows because we want them to be, parity. Like we just released this thing, and I watched you do this in class. It was really cool. I love your method. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to. It makes a lot of sense. In that, what he does is he has his 3 pictures. He takes the middle picture, the middle exposure, and then he makes his Lightroom adjustments, shadows and highlights and all that jazz, right, that he likes to do. And then he copies those, he synchronizes those with the other pictures, and then he takes those, he round trips them into Aurora HDR using TIFF files with all the slider adjustments. Then he plays with it in Aurora, and then he brings it back into Lightroom and does final adjustments. So it's a very elegant process you have.
Yeah, it's great. And that's something that's pretty new. It's an update that happened a few weeks back, I think. And
So what? How about this question? And actually, this might be a final question, and maybe we look at a couple of photos.
Yes,
and
good
then
idea.
y'all critique them. Where was it here? Steve Stepp says, should my next big purchase be the A7R2 or the October New Zealand workshop?
Go for both.
I currently have he currently has an NEX7.
Right. I get the camera and experiment on your own. That camera is amazing. You recently switched to it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic camera, and we'll always have future workshops. We might even have something in Europe or Thailand or Bali coming up. I'm not sure what we got to talk about this with Curtis. But thank you for the interest. Just get on our newsletter, and you can find out about future opportunities. All right. So tell people about your experience with the Sony A7R. By the way, Sony's not a sponsor, none of this stuff. We love their products.
Yeah, I wish they would sponsor us, but they don't. It's a funny story. I was on my way to buy the 5D Mark III when it came out, and it's been a while it came out, but I didn't have the money at the time. And I watched your video on the Sony A7R2, one of the first one you did, and literally I was packing and going to Fnac, which is like the Best Buy you have in the US, and I came out with a Sony A7R. I said, because I tried it was so small, and I was blown away by the dynamic range. I used to shoot, so I shift from Canon 5D Mark II to that, and with one RAW file I could get a lot more details in the sky, with being half of the size.
Right.
I was so better quality for lighter weight, and I'm a lazy person. I don't like to do bodybuilding at the same time than I do hiking.
Right, I agree. It's a fantastic camera. I'm actually between worlds, between that and the Hasselblad right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's also ridiculous. We've stopped pursuing Sony for sponsorship. We've just kind of given up because, it's ridiculous. Like last year we did these 13 photo walks across the USA. The vast majority of people there had Sony A7Rs, and then they all came up to me, and I'm sure you've had people come to you like, I switched because of what you said.
All the time.
So it's, not that we were like NBA stars or anything, but like Reebok, and they have these like sophisticated relationships. But I'm actually okay being independent, so that when I say like I'm switching to this or switching to that it's actually authentic, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do this thing that we do at the end of every show. We have a little group here. Let me take this. a little group on Facebook. It's called Becoming an Artist. All right. And it's a very active group, even though we just started. And people are sharing amazing photos there. I've really been enjoying it. So let me look through here and find some that I might find interesting. This one looks kind of nice. Oh, you don't have that mouse over thing. Let me open this into a new window. A little shift click thing. This one looks very nice. That looks Serge Ramelli-esque. Yeah, so we welcome you guys to join the group. Let me switch over to the discussion here so you can see what's going on. All kinds of activity in here. People making new friends. We just started it, and there's already thousands of people inside of there. Look at that pretty one from John Janeway. John is a regular. Hello, John. And by the way, whenever I go and like stuff, like means I think it's interesting, and then thumbs up is even better, love is even better, and wow, I think it is a maze. So that's kind of like my little rating system in there. It's crazy.
I don't have. This is the
Look
default.
at your desktop. It's all messy. Like that's my mom's desktop. Okay. Okay, here we are. So we'll do a quick little mini, not a critique, because critique always indicates that there's something wrong with it, but I think it's really nice. I think the colors are great. Like your first impression is like, this is pretty. I think it's lovely. I guess my only slightly negative thing to say is it seems like there's some graying or some like negative haloing around this one thing. But otherwise, I like it. What do you think, Serge?
Yeah, it's great. If there's only one thing I would add is I find that this is a little too close to the, giving a little bit more air to this.
Right.
Would make it a bit more interesting. But what the colors, the leading lines, how it's brighter in the center. So you really, this photo has depth.
Yeah.
And great color. So in foreground, middle ground, background, it's a great photo.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Maybe one other composition idea would be to scoot back more and zoom in more. And
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
make Big Ben bigger. Because Big Ben is so beautiful. It's a shame Big Ben is so tiny and the light is so huge. Okay, and then one more. This one. Okay, this is from... Oh, sorry, I should have said who the last one was from. That is from Devin Trammell. Okay. A great member of Trey's Funky Lounge. This is Edwin Muljart. Oh, he's from Belgium. I guess it's a Belgium name. Belgique. What do you call it?
Belgique.
Belgium. You know?
Les Belges.
The Belge.
Les Belges.
Okay. All right. So this is great. I think it's fantastic. The leading lines that go to the sun are great.
Yeah, this one is really...
It's nice how there's like a big tree close up and then medium trees and trees in the distance. So you kind of have like three sizes of trees. It's really hard to shoot in a forest. I'm sure you have this problem too. Like,
Yeah.
They're beautiful forests, but sometimes it's hard to take a photo in a forest. The shadows are great. The lighting is very nice. I guess my only tiny... I'm not even sure I'm going to say this, but the sun seems a little far over on the right. It's pretty close, but there's still enough spacing. It doesn't bother. Is this the live thing? Oh, look, it's back on. Oh, we're back. We're watching ourselves. This is Inception City. Okay, your turn to critique. Photoserge.
Well, this one I think is a perfect shot. I mean, it's leading lines. The light is beautiful. And what's amazed me, as you said, usually it's very messy in a forest, because there's trees everywhere and they are all different. And this one, he's got like one big tree on the left and all the other one on the right, very well aligned. And oops.
Oh, I just hit the crazy button again. No, I fixed it.
Okay. Anyway,
All right.
I have nothing to say, but just bravo. Bravo, Monsieur de la Belgique.
It's in France. Does that say bravo?
Yes, bravo.
Man, I wish I had a French accent. It's so cool. There it is. Okay. Well, on behalf of the great Photoserge, my good friend, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back soon with another show. Who knows when? Who knows where? But thank you for joining with the community. Remember, this show's all about you guys and your own artistic path. I feel like we're all learning together.
Yes.
And it's all part of the same continuum. So, thank you very much. 1,000 thank yous, and we'll see you next time.
Merci beaucoup, Trey. Merci.
All right, let's go jump in a lake.